T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Live from the Mother Effing Cheese Seats. I am your host, Andrew Faubert, and yes, it is Sunday night, and maybe not the greatest of night for the Buccaneers, but nevertheless, we did not too bad, but it is a loss to the damn Rams, 34-24, and what was technically maybe a little bit further than what the score may have predicted, but reasonably so. At the 10, I will give it that. Many things to digest about that game. As Rick had said on the previous show, please, if you are about to jump off a bridge, there is absolutely no need to. Absolutely no need to. You're fine. We're fine. So before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, remember to like and share and follow the show. You want to hop on? We're going to have the StreamYard link linked into the comments in a little bit here. We're going to talk the Bucs. We're going to talk about what's coming up here next weekend while we go off to New England, where you're more lucky to find Sasquatch than to be able to get a ticket for that game. That is basically what I've heard. So we'll talk about that. We'll digest this game. We'll talk about the rest of the games that have happened around the NFL. So let's get right into this quick. What happened? Do we blow the wheels off of our own selves? Do we now have a reason to, say, freak out as some of the fans are doing already on social media? The Saint fans coming trolling for us, saying, these are the Bucs we knew they would finally lose. They got nothing. Got 432 yards passing. I mean, it doesn't. It's got to make up for our lackluster under 40 yards of rushing. That's for sure. Get that? But I'm not going to lie. This team is still quite elite. Just got some things that we got to do. So let's break it down here quick for you. Tom Brady went 41 of 55. 41 of 55. This man is 44 years old. And we're still throwing this ball. Scored a touchdown, no picks. He also rushed the ball twice. What? Pretty sure a lot of people want some money tonight having Tom Brady rush for more than 10 yards. Absolutely incredible. Good job on him. He scored a touchdown in his own. The other rushers were Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette. Chris Godwin got the touchdown on a 2-yard carry. Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette combined for 9 carries and 19 yards. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But about these wide receivers, there is a lot of targets spread around the board today. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Tyler Johnson, Rob Gronkowski, Giovanni Bernard, all making up for most of the targets. Cameron Brake making up the rear. Leonard Fournette, O.J. Howard, Scotty Miller, and Jalen Darden also getting some work today for targets. But Mike Evans with the big night, 8 receptions for 106 yards. Chris Godwin also bringing in the rear with 6 and 74. Tyler Johnson, the man of the hour, 3 for 63. Rob Gronkowski still got 4 for 55. Giovanni Bernard got 9 receptions. Can you believe that? 10 targets, 9 receptions. What? Cameron Brate getting in there, like I said. 4 catches, 35 yards. Leonard Fournette, 3 for 26. OJ Howard got 1 for 11. Going to use him more. Got to use him more. Scotty Miller got 2 catches for also 11 yards, and Jalen Darden got 1 for nothing. That doesn't look that bad of a stat yard line, does it? For all those wide receivers, except for a couple at the bottom there. So what happened? What happened? Well, we're playing a really good team here, guys. Okay? And gals. Of course, we got a lot of different viewers here. We are playing a very good team. A lot of people said we were not going to win against this team. I also said, I can agree with that. I think we could, just because there's holes in the team. There's not many holes left in the Rams. It's overcompensated by some of the great talent that is there. But they're hungry. The Buccaneers are hungry on offense. The defense right now is banged up. The secondary is banged up. Our defensive line is not. Our linebackers are not. Don't think anybody like that is. So, what are we even talking about here? Why? What is going on? Shaq Barrett is paid to do what he's supposed to do. We're doing really good in the pressure game. Heck, I think at the end of tonight, I think the Buccaneers are still top 5 for pressures on quarterbacks. The problem is we are not finishing the job. We got to get hands in there. There's a lot of money that is going to be spent and is already spent on this defensive line. And it has been argued on many shows on this platform, including mine, that this is the best defensive line in the NFL, bar none. Where is it? Where is it? Our secondary needs help. It's pretty easy to see that. And it's not because our starters suck. No, they're hurt. One of the main key reasons we won the Super Bowl last year is because we were healthy. Everybody was healthy. We're starting to get banged up. And people are starting to realize maybe the Buccaneers just have to beat themselves. Because we kind of did today. And throughout. Obviously, some of these injuries have been flukes. Just injuries of the game. But it is the fact that these injuries are happening to us. And it needs to be addressed. We are the Super Bowl champions. The second that there is a hole and a weakness found in our system, people will take advantage of it. Next week, we are going up against who? Bill Belichick, Tom Brady's coach for the last how many years? The man who knows him probably the best. Do you not think he's already set maybe 1, 2, or 3, or 90 different game plans for Tom Brady when he comes into his house? Brady is chasing a record, which I did not actually get the stat for, and I will in a bit. Someone may actually drop it down in the comment section for me if you don't mind. There are some records that Brady is about to get, and he can break it in New England. So tell me, how many yards is he off, if somebody can tell me that? Belichick is going to try and prevent that. Unless he's like 82 yards away, then something like that is kind of, it's inevitable. But it's records, and there's this. He hasn't beat New England. He's been with New England, obviously, but he hasn't beat New England. He hasn't had a chance to play New England. Now he has a chance to not only play New England, he has a chance to beat New England in New England, in front of all the fans. I don't think Belichick is going to want to have that happen. And if making Mac Jones, the rookie, throw it is going to be the answer, he may have to do that. But Bill Belichick is going to have a game plan, and more than likely it is going to be to exploit our corners. It's just inevitable. If all of a sudden the, offensive line is really, really bad for the, say, the Buccaneers, they would just rush every time. But ours now is our corners. We have to fix that. And we have to fix that now. 1 second here, sorry. The other part of this is with these injuries, is we're getting injuries at depth. And now we're having games against good teams, and we're having to play at elite levels because we don't have some of the other players that we do. Because they're banged up, our corners. Matt Stafford scored 4 touchdowns today. And if my damn app would have just allowed the player props to be on before I had to drive 3 hours back from a wedding today, I would have put a small wager, small wager on Matt Stafford throwing 4 touchdowns. I've been saying it all week because he has an opportunity to he's going to do it. I would have said 3. And you guys know I got it the first week, didn't get it the second week. He played the Bucs and he got it the third week. Can't remember who they're playing the fourth week, but I'm probably going to keep rolling with it until they tell me I got to, you know what I mean? We knew what was going to happen. They were going to come in, they were going to make this, they were going to do it, and it worked. Doesn't mean our team is bad. Does it mean that we're having a bit of a Super Bowl hangover here? Not necessarily. I don't want to say that because on our defense has been doing okay in some of these games and has, really stepped up in certain plays, but is allowing certain other things to happen, like not getting enough pressure in. And it's not on the coaches all the time. It has to be on the players. I'm not going to sit here and start calling out players because I haven't played in a while. I have to rewatch the tape. I don't want to throw, Shaq Barrett under the bus. Willem Goldston's the only person who had a sack this game. Can you believe that? What's going on with Vita Vea? Shaq has been paid this money, though. There's a lot of attention is going to start coming on him. And deservingly so. Deservingly so. I get it. There needs to be more accountability across the board here. And as for our damn running backs, how many shows do you guys have to go to, and gals, of course, my apologies, but you guys and gals have to go to hear this? You don't have to go to some of the other competitors and hear them sit there and gloat about Rojo when he has one good game. What did I tell you about Rojo? I don't want to hear about running back by committees. Get out of here. Rojo needs to get out of his own head. So does a lot of other players in the league. I get it. It's only week 3. But Fournette, when they gave him the carries at the beginning of the game, may not have been doing good. It's just teams are prepared against our running backs, and they're prepared against our corners. But running backs, they're not going to do anything, and they expect them not to do anything, and even in 3 to 4 man down, and they still can't get 6 or 7 yards, teams will just keep doing it every single time. So in a bit here, I'm going to propose something, and we'll get to that. But I have also said, especially going back to the corners, when Sean Murphy Bunting went down, I said, can we just hold up? I want our rookies to stay, to get a little bit of time, just let them get some time like we've had before, not start, just get some time. I don't need somebody else to come in. Now that there's 2, with Jamel Dean getting banged up, it's almost inevitable. That's what I got. Where did I put it here? Put it somewhere. Almost inevitable. I'm pretty sure I wrote it. Yeah, right here. Said no to quarterback. I said no to the corner. Now it's inevitable. Whether it's Richard Sherman, whether it is making a trade. And I'm going to get to that also in a bit here. Actually, I'll get to it right now. Something has to be done. If we're going to make a trade, understand that we have to make a trade either one of two ways. One, for a person who is on an expiring contract and is just looking to get a ring, and the Buccaneers can throw, I'm being completely hypothetical here, but 2 seconds. Okay? You can go get a corner who has got a 1-year contract right now, who is not on a winning team, just for depth. Or if you're looking at, say, which I never found out that damn corner we had a couple years ago. If you go get a subpar one and you got to start tossing a third or a fourth in order to get some other type of depth, because teams are like, well, you're the Super Bowl champions. What used to be a fifth is now a third. What used to be a third is now a first, Mr. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Totally understand. 100%. You got to pay to stay at the top. 110%. 110%. That also being said, goes with the running back situation. I've been held accountable on here saying that we should bring Adrian Peterson in. I still hold true to that. Giovanni, I think it was right here. Rojo Gio played good, not Fournette. Bernard did. And fantasy people, I had a couple people message me being like, hey, I went after that one show and put Bernard just like on my bench kind of thing. And after this game, I've already had people send me offers. And I laughed. I'm like, see? Take some draft picks in your dynasty or whatever. Just do what you got to do, man. Here's the thing. With this running back situation, I feel as though we need to do the same. Or next year, what the Buccaneers are going to do, which I think they should do, is maybe take that 32nd overall pick, which was more than likely still what we're going to have, and get us another running back. And I'm stating it right now, and I know it's week 3. And I know there's a lot of time left in the season. I know that. Rojo's going to need a contract. He's also, and it's not looking very good, I'll agree. Okay? I think he's not going to get re-signed. I don't think Fournette's obviously going to get the contract that he wants. And Giovanni Bernard is only 1-year contract. He's gone too. Leaves us with Keyshawn Vaughn and the other two who I think are also technically gone. The Buccaneers would then have an opportunity in the draft to go and grab another running back and let the other guys go. Because by the time the third year happens, if they want to bring everybody back, I don't understand how you're going to convince Rojo and Fournette to take a pay cut to come back. That being also said, it's a lot of things that happened with this Buccaneer team in the offseason because they won the damn championship that we also did not expect. Okay, Bruce Arians be like, you ain't fucking going anywhere. You ain't fucking going anywhere either. Okay, like, I get it. Weirder things have happened. Okay. But the Buccaneers are already looking to the future. I kind of went at a few people on Twitter, even when I was at a wedding this weekend, because they were suggesting that, you know, the Buccaneers have not drafted properly even in the last few years. And the only reason that anyone thinks that we have drafted really good is because of the success we had last year. What? What? No. The Robert Aguayo. So what? That sucked. Okay, cool. But the Buccaneers have been drafting, and I've stated this on so many shows, and I'm even going to probably write an article for Bucs Report about it now. The Buccaneers in the first 3 to 4 rounds of the last 3 years have drafted for a position that was about to be re-signed. We knew weren't going to be able to keep, but even if we were going to win it or weren't going to win a championship, or we're going to leave inevitably due to old age, or because they were just that expensive. Okay? Joe Tryon. JPP is out. Joe Tryon in. He's not putting up astronomical numbers, but he's doing a damn good job. We also got him for the inevitability, if you look at the way the contracts are broken down, when Shaq Barrett needs to get re-upped, he's going to be at a veteran age where he's not going to get that type of money anymore, and Joe Tryon's up next. Okay? They drafted very well there. Go look at the Chris Godwin situation. Tyler effing Johnson. Right here. See that? If you guys can, I can't bring my camera up. It says effing. Effing right there. It's not after 10 o'clock. I don't think. Okay, it is. But still, I'm going to be calm for a bit. Listen. Tyler effing Johnson, when he got drafted, was a talent that fell way too far. And we got him in the third round. And tonight, we saw why. He was targeted 6 different times, and he caught the ball 3 times. He got 63 yards. And one of those was a pretty damn good catch. He looked like, and this is, I know it's early, but he looked like a nice developing blend of Chris Godwin and AB. A little bit more slightly on the AB, but he looks like a developing prospect of these wide receivers. So now all of a sudden at the end of this year, if something happens and Chris Godwin has to leave and AB has to leave, at least we still have Evans and Tyler Johnson, and then the other inevitable draft that we've been doing with Jalen Darden. We traded up to get him. It's a talent that Brady wants to utilize. Same thing with the running back situation. Even though it was Keyshawn Vaughn, we just knew that we had to get another one in here. Same thing back in the day with our linemen. Drafting Tristan Wirfs. We needed to do that. There's a reason why we traded up. Do you honestly think the San Francisco 49ers wouldn't have taken Tristan Wirfs? At that time, they didn't have Trent Williams. Okay? At that time, they did not have Trent Williams. They could have easily taken Wirfs. They could have had McGlinchey from Notre Dame and Tristan Wirfs. Very young offensive line, but still a very damn good offensive line. The Buccaneers have drafted good. And the Buccaneers are ready. They're going to be ready. They're going to continue to be ready because we are doing a good job in-house. So that is why tonight, I guess, I'm suggesting, and I know a lot of people are going to clip this, and if Playoff Lenny goes off, and listen, if this gets used in a clip, be like motivation, cool. I don't necessarily want that. I don't necessarily need that type of, I think, heat is what the cool kids are saying nowadays. I don't need that on my IG, yo, bro, sama, yo, like stuff. I don't need that. Okay? I got kids. I don't need them. Like, I don't need my son later on in life being like, he goes up and be like, oh, you're the son of this person, right? It's like, oh, yeah, cool. You mean the guy that said this? And it pulls up the old Twitter thing. It's like, I don't need that. Or the clip, I don't need that. Okay? But what I'm saying right here tonight is if the Buccaneers still have success, judging by what the needs are going to be more than likely next year, because of contract expiration, guys getting up there in age, I do think we're going to probably go more likely at running back position. And the reason I state that is some of these guys, and I see this next year, Tapasio, Lenny, Lenny and nothing else. Hey, I also suggested that before too. If you want to give Lenny like 25 carries a game and he only gets you 55 to 69 yards, at least like it's something. I get it, but don't give him the like 9 or 10 million, which you kind of wanted from Jacksonville. That's the only thing I don't want there. What I'm suggesting is starting anew, getting some fresh legs in there. We've seen what some fresh legs have done across the league. Last year was Jonathan Taylor for the Indianapolis Colts. DeAndre Swift has started to go off. Dalvin Cook is still producing. CMC's obviously got his injury and stuff. I get that. But it might be time to get some fresh legs under there. And if one of the best talents is available right off the top of the draft board for them, why not? The Steelers got Najee Harris fall into their lap, which almost say 3 to 4 years ago, another prospect type of player was like that in the draft, and he was taken at number 4, Ezekiel Elliott. And I'm pretty sure Saquon Barkley was taken at number 2. Was he not? He was. So there. Like, hello? Najee fell to the Steelers, man. Najee's eventually going to get it figured out. You don't think next year, when there is a lot of edge rushers apparently supposed to come out and a couple of damn good ones, man. You guys been watching Oregon? Ugh. There's a couple of other players out there. It's a couple of good corners. In my opinion, it's going to be a corner and wide receiver class, personally. I don't want to take our first round pick and draft a wide receiver unless like Chris Olueva, I believe, out of Ohio State is there, or one of these really cool utility wide receivers is out there. That would be cool. Sure. But what would be really damn cool is whether we got Tom Brady for one more year after this or 10 more years after this. Be really cool to give him some fresh legs like the James White, like the Giovanni Bernard he's always wanted, but for all 3 downs. Our offense is look what he's done. Look what he's done. Our wide receivers, the offensive line, which we were a laughing stock technically 2 years ago, is now all of a sudden the best in the league. Arguably. We're doing a damn good job here, guys. This is a damn good future we have here in Tampa. Right? Do we really think one little bad game because we got some banged up players here is something to actually be really worried about? No. No. We lost to a damn good team, man. We lost to a damn good team. Okay? I'm literally going to do, where the heck is that one? I'm finding this meme for, there it is. Like, imagine how good the Lions would have been if they actually traded for a quarterback like this. To all the people, look at the screen and tell me right now. Imagine if the Lions ever had a quarterback as good as this, okay? Like, honestly. They traded for him, okay? I don't want the Buccaneers to trade for a running back. I don't, okay? Unless you told me, say a sixth rounder to the Rams gets me the injured Cam Akers for next year. Okay, sure. Miami throws Myles Gaskins away. Yeah, I'll take Myles Gaskins. Like certain situations like that, if something happens, why the hell not? But also at the same time, the Buccaneers offense right now is already elite with Tom Brady at the helm. We know that whether the coaching is going to start getting picked apart by other teams when he's gone and Kyle Trask inevitably comes in, whether it's going to be a godforsaken injury to any of the main offensive weapons that we ever have. Okay, we are still going to have a very, 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 very good elite offense for a very long time, whether Kyle Trask or another draft pick takes the helm. Okay, I'm just suggesting now tonight, who still loves Rojo, I still love Fournette, and to Pazio again, bringing up what he said here. Lenny, I just Lenny and nothing else next year. Okay. I got no problem with that. So I just want the Buccaneers to have some good legs available to them at a good time. And next year's got a good crop of running backs coming out. There's probably 3 to 4 big ones who can go in the first round. That's all I want to see. The rest of what you saw tonight for the defense is just the defensive line having to pick it up, them not necessarily wanting to put the effort into it because of so many corners getting beaten up and they know they're going to get beaten anyway. That's me talking. That's not actually what happened. So I don't want anyone to get fired up. Don't want anyone to get too crazy. Don't want anyone to think that the walls are going to start falling down. I want everyone to take a look at what happened tonight and know that we are going to be perfectly fine going into New England. And I know I was the one who said they're probably going to lose to New England. I'm not going to bet on it. I'm not. I'm not also going to put my bets out until I see the actual injury roster. If you guys followed the bets that I put out this week, I went 1 for 2 on the only 3 that I gave out. I'd say like my lock-ins, I guess you would say. And I told you, I don't like to do too many of the betting until the injuries pop up because you get some weird ones, right? So, it's nice when some of those hit, but also at the same time, we've seen what happens. And a lot of times, especially with the Buccaneers, this game could have been a lot closer in terms of betting and just scoring in general. But we need to make sure going forward, this doesn't affect the players. This doesn't affect our fan base. This doesn't affect anything. We're doing a damn good job, guys and gals. If you're watching this show tonight, you've probably kept it all together. I've seen all you guys in the comments. I also see a couple people here in the back, or at least one person in the back who we're going to get to here in a couple days. He's holding up a sign ready to come in. I'm assuming I know what it says, and we'll get to him in a minute here or two. I just want to get through some of these comments and get a couple of people's perspectives. So if you guys have any comments, any questions, anything whatsoever about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers 34-24 loss to the Los Angeles Rams tonight, you got anything that you want to bring up, please drop it into the comment section. I love hearing from all of you guys. This is your show, and that's what we have Sunday nights for. First half an hour to an hour sometimes is all me, baby. You know how it is. Give you guys the updates on how I think it is. But, this is still you guys and gals out there. This is still your show. Your opinions matter to me and to all the fans here, not only at North Sports Dynasty and on Bucs Report, but onto the big growing family that we got here all across every platform here at Bucs Report and all the different social medias that are starting to get involved. So let's start it off with saying, hello, Fred. Let's effing go 19-1. Fred, I love that passion. You every week 20-0, 20-0. Now it's 19-1. I absolutely appreciate it, buddy. You are a diehard, and I appreciate everything you do. That's so good. Our defense bit. Thank you for tuning in, Teresa. You're not wrong at all. Ben Parrish, thank you for tuning in tonight too, buddy. Definitely exposed our secondary, and again, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. It absolutely sucks. But we're gonna fix it. If it's Richard Sherman or making a trade. Like I said, I got no issues necessarily for it now because 2 of the 3 headed monsters of our corners are beaten up badly, and we need to fix that. Teresa also says should not be throwing 55 times. I also agree. Not when you're at 44 years old. 44 years old. Also, while I'm going through these, I am going to drop into the comments in case anybody else wants to pop on tonight. The StreamYard link, if it is pop there, it should be going. Secondary is hurt. Lloyd Wilson the third. Thank you for tuning in. Exactly. So a lot to anybody who goes on Twitter and they're getting worked up and they want to get into a Twitter war, just don't. Anybody who thinks that the Buccaneers tonight lost because of anything more than say injuries is lost. The Rams being a very good team, I have to give them that credit too. Laquan Stewart, thank you for tuning in. Secondary got to get better. I agree, man. I agree. Yes, the Rams were very well coached to win, and the Bucs not. You're also very true there, Tabasio. Thank you for tuning in. Harry Berg, thank you for also for tuning in. 13 total rushes, 3 of them by TB12. Can't win like that, brother, especially when TB12 was the high man in rushing yards. It's a glaring issue they have. Must run the ball to win. I agree. That's why I said they're going to probably get it together this year. Might have to pick up 1 or 2 running backs off like free agent waiver wires. Maybe trade like a 6th or 7th to get maybe some younger, fresher legs that are going to get cut anyway. But yeah, we got to do something. And then, like I said, the big thing I said tonight, I think we should just go draft running back in the first round. I do. Or if a really good young running back is just having a contract issue and the Buccaneers can make it work kind of thing, then screw it. Just get him. Agree 100%. 100%. Thank you, Ricky R. Jameson. Thank you for tuning in tonight there, buddy. A lot of new faces tonight. This is really good to see. Everybody coming into the show being like, listen, I got to go talk to that Canadian, man. I'm upset. I got you. All of you tonight. Teresa says, run game has to be better. Where is Rojo? Exactly. Freaking penalties aren't helping either. This is very true. Yeah, I'm looking at Donovan Smith sliding into old habits. I don't want to get into that because that bit me last year, but if it also makes him play better, maybe I'll sacrifice me then, Rojo play good. Yes, we got into that too. Quit reading their own press. Guess what? You are only as good as what you have done lately. Thank you. Guy in row 329, seat 30, sign him. That's funny. I agree with bringing AP here. Okay, so at least there's not too much hate out there for that. Thank you very much, Steven. And Teresa saying me too. Thank you. See? I don't think too many people. If he's even close to what he used to be, I'm all for it. I still trust Jason Light. I agree. Thank you very much. Hey, everyone. Good vibes. Ramona, thank you. Finally, someone coming in here being like, good vibes. My Dolphins need O-line help and QB. Oh, no, I heard the Texans drop their asking price for Watson. Should Miami pull the plug and trade for him? You know what? I'm gonna get another guy in here, and he's gonna help me ask this question. He's also basically ready. I think he's like, I don't know if making fun of him tonight is gonna be very nice. I'm just gonna kind of let him maybe vent on the show a little bit. This is what we do. We let bad teams vent on the show because we used to be a bad team, and we're not a bad team anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. From the Hard Count podcast here on Bucs Report, our very own Jet fan, Jacob Jarnow. Jacob, what does that say? What does that say? Oh, no, the Jets fan in hiding. Oh, no, all gas, no points. Oh, no. How are you doing okay, buddy? Is it kind of is it clicking in that maybe just maybe it wasn't Sam Darnold? No, I know you know that already. But what is going on, buddy? Like, what happened, if you don't mind me asking?
God, we need Adam Gase back, don't we? No, I'm just kidding. No. No, but Mike LaFleur today looked like even worse than Adam Gase with some of this play calling, bro.
Oh man,
dude, we suck. Oh my god, bro.
That was hard to watch, buddy.
I'm done making excuses for this team, man. I can come on and say, all right, well, it was week 1. It was his first game. It moved a little fast for him. Week 2, the Patriots, Belichick makes rookie QBs look bad. Week 3, same offense, heading into their third week, work together a little bit more. Team scores no points. Defense looks disheartened. They're giving up points to Teddy Bridgewater. A Denver team that's 2-0, but still, I think, kind of flimsy. They have a good defense, but this offense is not sustainable, and they were pretty injured. You start at the top.
Yep.
You start, the honeymoon phase is over. I'm holding Robert Saleh accountable. I'm holding Michael LaFleur accountable, and I'm holding Zach Wilson accountable. What we've seen from this Jets defense the last couple of weeks has actually been not bad. But the problem is that when you turn the ball over, when you go 3 and out every possession, you're keeping the defense on the field, they get tired. They get incredibly tired. And so they start to get tired and they get frustrated. And this main problem with this Jets defense is that they're incredibly undisciplined. They commit a lot of penalties, a lot of stupid penalties. You see a lot of blocking the backs, a lot of face mask penalties, a lot of offsides. It's just stuff that could be stopped. It's just, and it starts with coaching. Why Denzel Mims isn't on the field is beyond me. What we've heard is that, he's not one of the top 3 guys, so he needs to learn every position, and he doesn't know every position. We've heard that this Jets team is overloaded at receiver. They have too much talent. Well, Corey Davis looked like he never played football before in his life today. Yeah. Elijah Moore got hurt. I understand, Jeff Smith is a great special teams player, but you can't find time for this guy who's an incredible contested ball catcher, an incredible vertical player, incredible vertical receiver. You can't find time for him. You can't throw the ball to him. And then this offensive line looked disgraceful today. Greg Van Roten coming out in his post-game interview and saying Zach Wilson needs to get the ball out faster. He should be traded. He should be traded. He sucks. He played awful today. I will get to the Bucs. I will get there.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Like I said, we're at the point you can vent, but I do before we did get to Ramona's question about say Deshaun Watson, because I actually saw someone say trade Zach Wilson, Quentin Williams, and our next 3 picks for Deshaun Watson and call it a day. And I'm like, I don't think Houston says.
The Jets killed Carl.
But see, Cajun Buck actually comes in and says, imagine if the Jets would have kept Darnold, traded back, and used those picks to build around him. Like, sure. Are you?
We could think about this, but the reality is, come on, Andrew. Andrew, you know that if Darnold stayed here, he would have sucked just as much.
No, I do agree. Yep, I do agree.
Hard, and you saw, and I'll be honest, Darnold looked without Christian McCaffrey, guys. I don't know who watched that Texans game. Without Christian McCaffrey, Darnold looked not great. He looked not great. You know
Yeah,
why?
the Canadian wasn't the greatest yet, but we're
Because
hoping.
CMC can block. CMC is a perfect. He doesn't only do the running back thing correctly.
Mhm.
He also can block. He he gets open. He pulls defenders off of other guys. I mean, it has allowed for DJ Moore to be fantastic in the first 3 weeks of this season. Darnold just wouldn't have done that. The problem is that you have an offensive coordinator who we hired in from the Shanahan tree when the league is becoming, a too high kind of league. Like you don't want that's not the type of offense that really works right now. That we don't really see a lot of these successful teams running, which I realized late. And so honestly, I don't think I think Saleh can only do so much, but the action, because we know he's not an offensive coach.
Yeah.
But the offensive coordinator job, which is basically the offensive head coach of this team, because it's not like an Andy Reid where you're running his type of offense. I'm worried that the fact that Mike LaFleur and Robert Saleh are so close and like have this deep personal friendship that goes back to high school. If this continues, I'm firing Mike LaFleur after his first as an offensive coordinator, and I'm bringing in someone else. I can pull out. So there's so many talented coaches in this league that could develop a quarterback, and you don't want to make the same mistake you had with Darnold. You can't do it.
That is true.
You can't do. You need to surround him with all the talent in the world, and like you were talking about. I hate this because I'm not looking forward to next year's draft. I'm not already looking at next year's draft. But
no, it is only week 3. Yes,
this is a rebuilding team. This is a team that next year, if let's say they do have a top 5 pick, which it looks like they probably will,
more than likely,
the plethora of talent, and I don't want to hear anybody. If anyone comes at me and says, "Oh, they should draft a quarterback," you can take your ass through right off.
Spencer Rattler.
Through right off. I don't know if you watched Spencer Rattler play, but he looks rattled. Sam Howell doesn't look like even a first-round pick anymore.
I know. Oh, my God.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They should go after this Kayvon Thibodeau, who is...
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Or
him and Quinn Williams.
Or one of these lockdown corners. What? That's Derek Stingley?
Out of LSU would be cool. Even, I think it's... Elam, I think it is, from Florida. He's pretty good. Like I said, there's some corners out there this draft, man.
Or take a guard. Take a goddamn guard.
Oh my God, right?
Take a goddamn guard in the first round. Guess what? I might be the first Jets fan to say this. We might need to take a left tackle next year. If Mekhi Becton cannot get healthy, oh my God.
It's true. I know, buddy. Oh.
And I hate it. I hate saying it. And it might be dumb because it might only be week 3. But and I love Becton. I think he's been really good the games that he's been in.
Mm-hmm.
But
the injuries, you can't have it anymore.
Concerning.
Very much so.
Concerning, right?
And you know me, because like a lot of people, I've had someone call message me and be like, so if the Buccaneers lost, do you not care? You know what I mean? Like, even if they lost the Super Bowl, do you not care? And I'm like, oh no, like I would. And they're like, but like, what if the Lions won? Would you be cheering? I'm like, I mean, yeah, like that's my friends. They're like, well, what about the Jets? Yeah, because of Jacob, right? So like, yeah, but they go like, what about the Bengals? And I'm like, kinda, yeah, because here's the thing, like, not like, and this is, to say it as nicely as I can, I was like, most of those teams right now, they suck, and a lot of those fan bases are begging for like something for that to happen. So for me, I'm like, yeah, anytime like the Buccaneers would lose or whatever, sure, but
why everybody roots for the Browns now. It's
exactly.
It's like, hey, okay. It's like, so, this was not supposed to happen.
Right. So when I bring this up, because what I was going to say is when you do look to the offseason as, say, like a Jets fan, what I already look at is if there's any trade bait that you have right now, it's CJ Mosley. And if somebody out I know you don't want to hear because I know you like him, right?
So much. He's the last. There's a picture. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a picture of that entire 2018 Jets team.
Yep.
And it's CJ is there's probably 15 to 16 players on there. He is the only player that is still left on this team.
And to be completely honest, what I want though is I would love nothing more than for the Jets to have an opportunity in the draft, like some of these other teams where it's like, okay, you've gotten your left tackle, and now we got, say, the 22nd overall pick, and someone forgot Kenneth flippin' Murray is sitting there for the Chargers 2 years ago, right? Or some of these other linebackers like Patrick Queen falling to Baltimore there also a couple years ago. Those are the kind of things, because I'm like, listen, I like the fact that CJ Mosley's there. But I think also eventually to get the best performance out of him would be for him to go to a winning culture, right?
Sure.
And getting the value out of it is, I think, one of those teams that's kind of on the cusp of being really, really good would be like, all right, I'll give you a first round pick in, say, 2 years because, he's worth it. Then all of a sudden your Jets next year have your top 5 or whatever. Then you trade back. Then say the next year after that, you got 3 first round picks.
Ironically enough, the team that could really use CJ Mosley right now is the Panthers.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't do that to myself. I couldn't do that.
Man,
I couldn't watch him go there. I couldn't watch him go there. I couldn't.
That's true.
I love CJ, but like I was talking to you about this. I was talking to somebody, but like, God, imagine if Luke Kuechly was still on that Panthers defense. Oh
I don't want to.
Like, imagine, like that's I don't know if it'll, that's a team that would contend.
Not only that, like next year, even if they didn't have Luke Kuechly, like that team is looking pretty like solid, especially the defense. They're starting to like actually mold into what a few people like Rick and Harry and a few other people have said before, where they're like, listen, this team is pretty good. Like the defense has got to start molding. It's the same thing as the Buccaneers before, right? Like their corners, they sucked. It clicked last 6 weeks of the season. And then the next season after that, they were absolutely amazing, right? So
yep.
It sucks for your Jets. It sucks for these other teams out there too, like with the rebuild, because you were hyped, and I know that you're not going to get like 2 down. I know you're like, if we play like what's your next team that you play, for example?
We have the Titans next week at home.
Okay, that's not easy, but I mean,
that's not a good example. But then we have the Falcons in London.
Okay, so there you go. That like
they're gonna lose to the Falcons.
No, that's Zach Wilson's coming out in freaking London game.
He can only do it in another.
Yeah, right.
He can't even do it here. I'm gonna be at the game next week. Oh my, I'm not even.
Here's the question that I wanted to bring you in for too, because with Ramona, she said, I heard the Texans dropped the asking price for Watson. Should Miami pull the plug and trade for him?
No, because I don't need that in my life. I don't need Miami. But, so are we saying this as if Watson can play?
Yes. Yeah. This would be saying like all charges have either been dropped or certain things have obviously been figured out.
Or it's the NFL, so he's just going to play anyway.
Yeah, that too.
I will say yes. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Because Tua, you have a Hawaiian that's made of glass.
Yep.
And you have Jacoby Brissett, who obviously is not a franchise quarterback, but he played pretty damn well today against the Raiders.
That he did.
Which was a game that I had the Raiders -3.5, and the Raiders won by 3. And I want to just go home. I just wanted to go home. I was home, and I wanted to just go home again.
The only one I actually got out of, say, the 3 that I called for this, because the other one was the Steelers and the Bengals going over, I think it was 45 or 43. And I'm like, come on, Big Ben. What the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah,
come on.
Yes, did you see? Oh, my God. I saw the funniest. Did you see the meme? It was like he has the mobility of a tree and him throwing the screen, not even getting hit, him throwing the screen pass and just falling. Like,
yep.
Oh, my God.
And then, of course, like I took the Patriots money line, and I thought I
had my lock. My lock was the Saints this week.
Oh, see, and there you go. One of my 3 was just saying, Patriots money line, just based off of like the little bit of money that you could have gotten stuff. But props to the Saints and props to Winston for 138 yards passing. Congratulations. So,
what makes me feel a little bit better about this Zach Wilson stuff, though? The fact that all the rookie quarterbacks suck. All of them suck. Besides Trey Lance, but we haven't seen Trey Lance play, and I have a feeling like when he comes in, he's gonna suck right away because that's just how that works. Because it's just how that works. And I was talking to people, they're like, "Oh, well, Mac Jones doesn't make mistakes." Well, we saw 3 mistakes today against the first like real defense he went up against,
I was gonna say yes.
and he's gonna make mistakes next week.
Yep.
A lot of them.
Maybe not as many as he may. Like that's just me personally talking, but I do agree he is going to make mistakes. The Buccaneers are going to do. Like Todd Bowles is going to come in prepared to play that son of a gun. That's for sure.
All right. So yes, the answer to that to Ramona's question is I think yes,
I also agree.
Absolutely should because they have the picks to do it. But
yeah,
can I just go off about this Bucs game now because I'm sure we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, you go ahead. What you got?
All right. People are going to get mad at me about this. I don't care. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a Bucs fan. So I already trashed my team enough today. So you have nothing. No one can say anything to me that I haven't already heard about my Jets.
Okay.
So I'm comeback proof is the best part. So okay. The bottom line of this game is that the Bucs were outcoached. The Bucs got outcoached. And they didn't get outcoached by the Rams. They got outcoached by themselves. Because what we saw was 2 weeks of poor play calling on both sides of the ball, finally get taken advantage of by a team who has an elite offense, defense, and coaching staff who knows how to expose those holes. Mm-hmm. You play against the Cowboys and you play against the Falcons, two teams who aren't Super Bowl contenders this year, obviously. Then you play a team who you're going to face in the playoffs in the Rams at home, or at the Rams are home in a stadium that was packed with Rams fans.
Oh, yeah.
Packed with Rams fans.
A loud flipping stadium.
And you decide to go back to the ways of that 7-5 team from last year where you don't run the football, you make poor decisions, and guess what? Elite personnel on the other side of the ball is going to make your day a living hell. I told everybody this morning on my show that I did. I said the reason the Rams are going to win this game is because purely Sean McVay makes better adjustments than Bruce Arians does.
I will even say that too. He does.
I also think, and this is a hot take, and I think you're going to disagree with me, but I think that Byron Leftwich might be one of the worst offensive coordinators in the entire NFL.
I do disagree, but I will allow it.
I think Brady has more control of this offense than he does, than Leftwich does, and I think Arians has more control of this offense than Leftwich does. And I think when we see mistakes being made is when Leftwich tries to run Bruce Arians' offense better than Bruce Arians runs his own offense.
That's fair. I can give you that. I do disagree, but I can see where you're coming from on that.
Hyperbolic, but I don't love Byron Leftwich as an offensive coordinator.
No, and I agree with that too. I would like someone else eventually. Like when I know that, say, Bruce Arians is going to retire and Tom Brady's gone, and I know a lot of people want Brian Leftwich, and I've even stated that before. I'm like, it'd be kind of cool to give him the opportunity. I'm kind of with you on that now.
I think, and then the flip side of that, all the other Bucs fans want Todd Bowles, and I'm saying you don't want Todd Bowles as your head coach. Keep him as your defensive coordinator, please, 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 please.
You are on the same boat.
I don't want to see that for you guys. I think that on my own. Because once you lose Brady and Arians, then you're going to rely on Bowles for that leadership, and he doesn't have that. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have that aspect. He can quietly run a great defense. Quiet.
Just again.
We don't need to talk next head coaches, but like that's this Bucs team is one. There's guys. Don't get me wrong. This team is going to be contending for a Super Bowl this year. Mm-hmm. I'm not denying that. Mm-hmm. But they need to, now that people have a read of what this Bucs team can do offensively, they need to switch it up a little bit. They need to get to that end of season offense, end of 2020 offense that we saw where they were running the ball, where you let Leonard Fournette run the ball enough, something's going to happen. Something good is going to happen, right? Let Gio Bernard work. I know he almost got his head taken off today, but let him work more. Like, I just don't understand when you know what works, why you wouldn't do it, right?
Right.
And this bend don't break defense. Mm-hmm. Guess what? It broke when you play a team that when you're that banged up in the secondary, when your corners, even when they're healthy, are not elite by any stretch of the means. You're playing way too soft. You're allowing everything underneath to guys who literally specialize in these underneath Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. And then you press up a little bit and you put some more, and then you let Deshaun Jackson, now you're susceptible to the deep ball. I just really didn't understand what they were doing today. And I think they got their teeth punched in, and they're going to get better from this. They are absolutely going to get better from this. But it looked ugly today, in my opinion. I think this game should have been closer than it was. I think the Rams won, but it should have been closer than it was.
If we didn't get banged up in that secondary, I do agree this game would have been a little bit closer, just because Brady wouldn't have actually had to throw like for the full 400 that necessarily.
He would have still thrown the ball.
I mean, yeah, the running backs are getting that bad. Maybe 475 and then get an extra 2 TDs. But got another guy down in the lobby. I'm going to get to him in a second. Just going to get to some of these comments as well. Oh, he probably will. He'll probably yell at me too. He yells at everybody. I yell at everybody sometimes too. It's all good. Ramona says, even if we trade for Watson, we have enough draft cap and cap space money-wise next year. It won't affect us. And that's the thing. He is already under contract.
Yes.
I have actually heard if they go to trade him next year before a certain time, and that time would actually be better to trade him at than the other time, which I will figure all this out properly, guys. I'm sorry. I just got back from a wedding. I'm still kind of drunk here. They will have a harder time getting the amount that they want, because they will actually have to pay almost $1 million per game that he plays on the other roster, at least for the first year. Yeah. And if they trade him afterwards, after that, they have to pay like an upfront like fee to trade him. The other team would actually get better quality and better value out of that, and they wouldn't want that. So, Ramona, I'm just telling you right now, if for some odd reason, the other two factors, defense really, really good on the Dolphins, really, really good. Mm-hmm. They need the offense to pick it up a little bit more so they can, stay off of the field as much. And if for some odd reason Deshaun Watson goes there, Will Fuller. Devontae Parker is a number one wide receiver. Yeah, he and Will Fuller did a hell of a good job with the Houstons. And you got Waddle. That's a big three right there. Now, all of a sudden, all you can do is just take your two first-round draft picks and go get them some flipping O-line help, because, man, the Dolphins O-line, like you said there, you need help.
Love Waddle. Love Fuller.
Yeah.
Love Devontae Parker.
He's just been there so long that people forget that, like, if you just throw the ball to him when you need, like, the one catch, he's like an A.J. Green. He's like the Larry Fitz.
He is A.J. Green.
Yeah.
He literally is A.J. Green.
Yeah. Tua out till week 6. I would like to see Tua at Bucs. Oh, I see. Is not the answer.
I thought she said on the Bucs. I was like, okay.
But then again, who can be good with the Finns O-line? See, I know you, and she knows that too. She's not even trying to. She's like, my team is good. My offensive line sucks.
We all have bad O-lines. It's okay,
except for the Bucs, which was the same line from last year that Fitz made look good. Don't say the name. Don't say the name.
3 times he pops in here, actually.
Well, he's been in here already, so it doesn't work like that. Not tonight, anyway. JPP not playing today hurt. Tyron is not ready for everyone down guy yet, but he definitely has the talent to beat. Nope, that's very true. I'm not worried. I'm pissed. You have the right to be, though, man. You got the right to be. Don't like losing. I know a lot of people wanted to 20-0 like Fred Moore, but he's all pumped for 19-1 now, so. Try being a Dolphins fan. Bucs will be fine. Brady got this team.
Try being a Dolphins fan. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I like that actually, though. Todd Gurley's out there. If he was like, say, fully healthy and like we got a whole 100% like scoping of that knee, and there's like
if he had knees, you could get him.
That's what I mean. Like,
I think he ran out of knees.
People need to relax. I also agree. And Michael Eric Carney, thank you for tuning in. Says Bucs lost to a good damn team who were at home and firing on all cylinders. Bucs have so many injuries in the secondary. Teams are lining up to play the Bucs front 7. They're lining up and running multiple schemes outside to the wideouts. It's a form of running the ball. It's very true. It's like those little mesh plays that I've seen other teams start to use on the Bucs as well, because if you can get Devin White and Levante David to play more of like a cover, like a man coverage for the first 5 yards, and then they got to start spreading, it becomes a weakness with our secondary being that bad. So
I'm sorry. I have to interject.
What?
Trey Sermon just won me my week.
There you go.
There we go. I needed him to score 6 points. I was worried through the first 3 quarters he was not going to get it, and then he scored a touchdown.
Yep.
He ran it.
Getting kind of close too. So
it's close. It's 24.
Yeah. Bucs will dominate New England. Mac Jones will be horrible. Was horrible versus the Saints today. Yeah, and Jacob did bring up a good point. Good defense, and he's going to get kind of spanked around there.
Absolutely.
Also said Bucs are going to be just fine. They just need to clean up the penalties as well. And we talked about that. Tom is not losing the game. Before the season started, Tom was already preparing for Bill and the Pats. I agree, 100%.
Yeah, probably.
Ernest Hammond says D White just don't look the same. I have notes on that, but I want to wait at least one more week because we've seen this. Devin White isn't just elite. Devin White is like superstar at a very young age because he holds himself to that level. He's not doing exactly what we need him to do right now, but he's still really good.
Wait till there's a game where he needs to be used in that game script, and then he'll show.
Thank you. Exactly. Thank you. They lost to the better team today. Bucs will probably see them again in playoffs, and it will be different. I absolutely agree. That was going to be my end rant for the show. The Bucs, from the beginning, were not prepared for the noise, and that on coaching. There's actually a really good point to Passio. And I'll get my guy to come in here, and I'm actually going to get him and you to bring this up. This may have actually been one of the first games that it actually was that loud for the Buccaneers in a long time. It really was. And they only lost by 10 points then. So let's bring in our friend from the Miscreant Mayhem.
He's shaking his head already at me. I don't even know what I didn't even say anything. He's just
Is it after 10 o'clock yet?
Oh,
I mean, yes, technically.
11. I'm holding my eyes open here.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you go do this while I go get some water. You go ahead. You have fun.
Jacob, I mean this sincerely for you and your Bucs fan. I mean for you and your Jets fans. From the bottom of my heart, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass.
Wow.
Your Jets are awful. They're awful, bro. They're just I cannot even with them. They are awful. And you and I completely agree on that point. They're the reason why they're so bad is because the reason why the Jets are so bad is because of the Jets. That's just how it is. You guys are snake bit. It's just how it is. I don't think it's going to matter. They could bring Belichick there. I don't think it's going to make a difference. Second,
Faubert, you missed him. You missed him telling me to kiss his ass. Is what you missed.
Oh, what? No, Steven.
Why'd you walk away, man?
He goes from the bottom of my heart, kiss my ass to you and your. I said, all right. I was like, okay. I was like, this is how. I
was going to drop an F-bomb, but I wasn't sure it was after 10 yet. So
no, I usually try to wait for the North Sports. The cheap seats would be good. Like if we ever get like a bat, like if we ever get like a Saints fan on, all the F-bombs can be directed to the Saints fans.
Fat Mike.
I mean, Fat Mike too, yeah, but like that's all with love though. So
again, though, sincerely, Jacob and all the rest of you Jets fans out there, kiss my ass, all y'all, all y'all. But anyway, I want to agree with Jacob. I want to agree with Jacob partly, but I can't because I heard what you said, Andrew. It's not necessarily that Leftwich is a bad OC. He did win a Super Bowl with this exact same team last year. And he and Brady together are the ones who got away from Mr. No Risk It, No Biscuit and start running more of a Brady-centric offense. So it's not that. And even as bad as all the noise was, and I agree with that, as badly as much trouble as the O-line had, I agree with that. You had a 44-year-old man throw for 432 yards.
On 55 attempts, too.
55 attempts and got 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive. Well, no, he accounted for 2 of them. 1 running, 1 throwing.
Though Teresa said exactly what we all been saying here. Should not be throwing 55 times.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think you're right about the noise level taking it by surprise. I think that is a coaching decision, but I don't think it's they're right there, Jacob, for you. Right there.
I just wanted to get it out of the way. Might as well have him say it than anybody else. So.
But it's not so much that it's bad coaching, although I agree that Sean, what's his name in LA?
McVay?
McVay is he's more innovative. I agree. But it's not I don't see it as a coaching issue. I see it as a personnel issue. They have the wrong personnel in for certain plays. Why the hell did you have Rojo on the goal line? He couldn't even punch it in the Super Bowl. They should have had Lenny down there. Thankfully, Godwin got it. They should have had Lenny down there.
We got to get him out of his head, right?
Yeah.
Give him the opportunity.
No, we got to get him off the team. I've been saying forever, Rojo is no go.
I do agree. Hold on.
Speaking of personnel, and on a different note, why the hell are the Jets running a 21 personnel on a team that can't block? That makes no sense. What? Okay, but continue with the Bucs because
no, I agree, bro. I'm gonna be straight with you. In all of BR, you're the only person who cares about the Jets.
Actually, no.
I think I'm getting to the point where I think I'm the only person in the world that cares about the Jets.
Yeah.
No, we have a cute little community on Twitter. There's like
listen, if you want, like, honestly, I kid you not, I've heard of other Jet fans becoming hockey fans so they can actually cheer for a winning Jets team.
Oh, that's awesome.
But no, I did want to throw this. Fred did say, we feel your pain, Jacob. Listen, it's the same thing I've said like at the beginning there too. It's everyone like Steven, Harry, Keith, Johnny, all the guys at Bucs Report will give you crap because you're say a Jets fan. Same thing they give for Harry for being a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Steven for living down in Dallas kind of thing. Alex being a Lions fan, right? But like I even said too, if the day happens, if the Jets, like for some odd reason, I'm just throwing this out there. Because listen, if you would have said 4 years ago Tom Brady's going to come to the Buccaneers and win a Super Bowl, we all would have laughed exactly how Steven would have laughed right there. But like, nope. But let's just say if Zach Wilson gets it together and the Jets did go on a Super Bowl run and actually did beat like a team, say in like 4 or 5 or 15 years, but did win a Super Bowl, I want to be partying with that guy. I want to be where that guy is.
I'll ask my phone if I'm like out and about and I get upset at the Jets and I leave the house. I'll go, hey, like, what was the Jets score? And they say, oh, the Jets beat, and I'm like, and they're like the Maple Leafs, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and then they're like, nope,
awesome.
the Jets lost 47-0 to New England this week.
Here's the problem with the Jets.
And then
the Jets.
My phone goes, the Jets are now on the clock with the first overall pick in the 2022 NFL draft. And I'm like, oh, come on already, man. Like,
Spencer Rattler, quarterback from Oklahoma. It's like, what? Why?
I think he's already worse than like.
I know.
He's already the worst.
Now that I've gotten my whole kiss my ass Jets out of my system, let me give you some hope. I honestly don't think Zach Wilson is as bad as you guys are saying he is.
I don't think he's bad.
I think he makes a lot of stupid rookie mistakes, which can be coached out of him. What I don't think is happening is that it's actually being coached out of him.
Exactly. Sure.
The coaching issue.
Sure. It is a coaching
Zach Wilson issue.
You're not putting the best possible team out there. You're at the bare minimum. You're not putting the best possible team out there with the best possible situations for him to succeed. Like I said, why is Denzel Mims not in the field? Why are they running a 21 personnel with a team that can't block? Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Why are this is a why? Why? Why has Michael Floyd not made a single adjustment in the last 3 weeks? Why can this team not work cohesively as one? It starts with
Salah's doing this. Salah's been like, oh, wait, damn it. Oh, wait, this isn't San Francisco. This is New York.
no, he's going, oh, that's the wrong LaFleur brother, is what he's saying. Is what he's saying.
I need Garoppolo is what he's saying. Like, give me Garoppolo in the Jets and we'll be fine.
I actually think Zach Wilson on a team, not the Jets, would be a much better quarterback. Because there are coaches, I think maybe Salah
the Bears?
is trying to be a player's coach versus you're going to get this done or else coach. And I think a lot of these young rookies need that structure, not the whole let me be your buddy coach. They need a firm hand to say, this is how you're doing it, period. Now, great, you want to build a system around them, not say, this is my system, you're going to run my system. BA. You want to build a system around them.
Say like Buffalo and their draftees for the last little bit there. Yeah.
Bingo. There has to be repercussions for messing up the system that you built around them. Yep. And I don't think the Jets have that.
That's fair. That's fair. Some other people said, no, we don't. We're 2-1. What was that one for?
When Fred said, we feel your pain, Jacob. I said, no, we don't.
Well, like I said, I think it's because we won a Super Bowl that we're like, we want to be inclusive to all the teams that kind of suck, except for the Saints, except for the Panthers. And as much as I love Kyle, not the Falcons.
You know what I love about Jacob? Jacob can take harsh reality, and that's what I love about him. So, Jacob, I'm not going to be the guy who gives you the participation trophy and tells you, good job, and your team sucks really, really bad. I'm just going to give you the reality.
I tweeted that.
There are ways to fix it.
I tweeted it today. I go, I'm watching the game. I said, no more excuses, be better. That's what I said.
I saw that, yeah.
I said, no more excuses, be better. That's it. That's
it. Ben Cornett. Thank you for tuning in. It says Jets just erratically terrible under Saleh.
That one doesn't even make sense.
Under
isn't even like in or the, like it's not.
Like, I know. I just had to throw it. Ben is still funny as hell. The fact that
there's better Jets depression.
Listen. Do not underestimate the fact that we got Ben Cornett on the show tonight. Okay,
just end the season, just end the suffering. Are two of my.
Oh no!
What did Rick call it? What did Rick call it?
I think. No. That was a good one.
I have a shirt that says "Just End the Suffering."
Okay, hold on. I want to get to this. Fred Swayzemore says we trade Rojo and a 4th-round pick to the Bears for Montgomery. They don't run the ball either. Man,
they don't. They sure as hell don't pass the ball though.
I know, but I'm just saying right now, Fred, you thinking kind of the way that I was thinking when I said if there ended up being like that younger running back that was still kind of good that you don't have to trade like a 1st or a 2nd for. Man, if for some odd reason they said give me a 3rd and you could have Montgomery, take a 3rd and take a 6th and just like end the phone call and call it in, man. Yeah, I would be all okay. Yep.
I agree with that.
That's a good one there.
What it was, Andrew. I remember what it was. Yep. Rick said JOKE, Jets.
I had to try not spitting my water out for that one. That was actually kind of funny.
You have to admit that was good.
That was good. That was good. Jets and Lions thought they could bring in head coaches who are 6'4" and taller, and that would intimidate opponents so much for that idea. I'm really sorry for this, Jacob. I really am. I'm just
Robert Saleh looks cool when he's running up and down the bleachers, but then he doesn't look cool when he loses a game by 26 points. Shut out. So that's whatever.
Fred Moore says Stephen Glasgow, but have seen many 0-3 starts.
Yes, you guys have seen many 0-3 starts, haven't you?
We have seen many.
Yes, we have. Yes. Christopher Cole says Rams couldn't actually stop our offense. We stopped ourselves. That is a net. Besides this comment and this comment, these are the comments of the night. I like the David Montgomery comment right now, and I like this one, Christopher Cole. That is very good.
I agree. But you were talking earlier, Andrew. I'm sorry to cut you off. You talked about a trade for a corner. I'm assuming you meant corner. Yes, I get the feeling you and I probably aren't really that big on Richard Sherman because what's he really going to do? I mean, he's an older guy. He's slower. He grabs a lot. He's going to get a lot of penalties because he's
Steven. What was AB going to do? I mean, he was a mental case everywhere else, and he done this and that, and now he's probably your best receiver on the team right now.
But see, unlike a lot of Bucs fans, I agree with AB coming here because I understand his talent. AB is, if you're talking about pure talent, it's far more talented than Richard Sherman. You have
to remember this is that if Brady was still on New England and we were having this conversation that Richard Sherman was going to go to a Tom Brady team, we're saying, all right, well, I mean, Richard Sherman's of course just going to be amazing again for no reason because of course he will be because Brady just will get bailed out by another great another guy like that, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm just like, I'll let you finish that. I'm gonna interject. I'm just gonna say, if Brady was still on the Patriots, like with the squad that they got right now, like that revamped like defense and all that kind of stuff, and you told me that it's J.C. Jackson, Stephon Gilmore, the McCourty brothers, and you're just gonna randomly add Richard Sherman in there, I don't want no fucking part of that team more defense. That's like Legion of Boom, but we're vets, but we can still move some ass. Like that.
Right.
That would be
We have the best defensive coach of all time.
Exactly. I wouldn't want that. But sorry, no.
In fact, I'll tell you my secret. When they were having all this beef with Stephon Gilmore, I might have even written it somewhere. I said, please let him come to the Bucs. Please let him come to the Bucs.
Well,
I like Stephon Gilmore.
Now I don't love Gilmore just because he's. I don't like the fall off he's had.
That's fair. That's fair. And he is. I don't like the guys who kind of like, well, this is my side of the field. It's like, this, shut up. Everybody blocks whoever they do, kind of thing. Even though I know someone will probably call me out and be like, Carlton Davis has kind of done that. It's like, yeah, but he earned it.
Right.
He earned it here.
But that's the beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Stephon Gilmore, he could be the guy who says, this is my island, and now we've got other corners who can handle the other side.
Davis was the guy who earned it.
Wow. I mean, for you guys, yes. Not for us, in my opinion. When he came to Tampa, the way that we were running.
Not your Revis. Not our
your Revis.
He was collecting a check by then. He was just collecting checks in Tampa.
My Revis.
Yeah, your Revis for sure.
He was so good. He was
to Steven, to your point though, because we have the third, like when Sean Murphy Bunting, Carlton Davis, and Jamel Dean are all like healthy, that's arguably the best like secondary in the NFL. So what I suggested was if we had to, because like honestly, when we got Joe Tryon, I think the reason we only kept that first round pick is because they were like, you know what, we're gonna grab Joe Tryon, and I don't care if he's like a third round pick. Technically, that's the guy that we want. We're gonna put him in our system, right?
Right.
I wouldn't actually be surprised if all of a sudden, like, because Carlton Davis has also gotten banged up a little bit, not obviously as bad as, say, Jamel Dean and Sean Murphy Bunting, but I'd have to go out there and see what corners are on that. Like, we're still on the 1-year contract, kind of like a rental. A team's willing to trade it before the trade deadline. I would more be open to that, especially if they're a little bit younger, kind of under the radar, kind of a corner where we can re-sign them at the end of the year for like a $2 or $3 million contract. And it's just like the best sub we can have for the 2 or 3 years. Right.
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. Andrew.
Yeah.
I have school. I have to be up 6 a.m. tomorrow for school. So I'm going to pop myself out of here because I don't want to interrupt too much.
No, you're good, buddy.
Yeah, guys, check me out. I'm Jacob Charnow. Follow me on Twitter at Jacob Charnow, Instagram at Hard Count Football. You guys check out the Hard Count Football podcast live, usually Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Hard Count Football YouTube channel and right here on Bucs Report. My schedule is getting kind of busy, so that time is probably going to change. So I will remember, follow me on Twitter, and I will keep all of you updated with that. But Steven, always fun talking to you. Hope you guys enjoyed week 3. Andrew, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me on. You guys
always, buddy.
Hey, one more thing before you go, Jacob. For all those of you out there, Jacob does a great job on the show. He really He does a phenomenal job. He is a true prodigy here on the Bucs Report. He also runs the Jets Anonymous. He heads up the Jets Anonymous group for those recovering Jets fans. So check him out.
Fun fact: before someone else already does it, one of my boys, Kevin Sirkin, already kind of does something similar to it, so I didn't want to copy him. But he runs a cool like Jets, like it's like a Jets, like it's like Jets AA. It's like Jets.
Nice.
It's really fun. It's really, really funny. You guys should check that out.
Matt, listen, we were there once before. You guys will get out of it eventually. We just don't necessarily know when it'll be. So
sure. Don't lie to him. Stop telling him about participation trophies. The Jets have sucked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jacob. Have yourself a great night. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Thanks.
Love you, bro.
I love that guy.
He's awesome.
Get to some of the other ones here too. So Harry Berg, thank you for tuning in. Says Green Bay scored again, 24-14. San Fran trying to scratch a way back in. Fourth quarter just started. I see it on the side. It's 24-21. Man, they're staying in. Yep. Tom Brady is 68 yards away from breaking. Thank you. I said at the beginning of the
crazy.
I said at the beginning of the show, I was like, I couldn't remember exactly how many he was away, but he's gonna get it. If you told it, like he's getting that in New England.
Absolutely. It was probably in the first quarter in New England.
99.7%. Unless for some odd reason, I should have waited to do that joke properly, man.
Oh, what?
Is it Tara Harding? The Olympic figure skater.
Oh, Tanya Harding.
Yeah. Bill Belichick gonna pull a Tanya Harding before the game. I ain't breaking no record in my damn stadium. I don't care what it takes.
Oh man, sadly, I wouldn't put it past them to have
someone. I don't think they're gonna fly into New England until the day of the game, dude. Like,
It's smart. It's smart.
right?
He's not getting in the first quarter, man. And the best part is they'll have to stop the game and they'll have to give them the ball.
Yeah.
Family come down. It's going to be awesome.
Carolina and the Rams have a tough stretch of games coming up. I know, listen, Rams look good right now, or Rams look good now, and I think we'll continue it. The Panthers, I have the schedule. I think I had them like 5-2 in the first 7 weeks, or maybe 4-3, and then at the end of it, I got them finishing 6-11. I think is what I had them as my final. The end of their schedule sucks, man. They got to play us twice at the end of the year. Like that's 2 losses right there, in my opinion. So
that is true. I agree with you what you said earlier too, Andrew. I don't think if our team was as healthy as the Rams, I don't think we lose that game.
Or it's not that, like, I even said, like, we lost by 10 points, and maybe not to say it should have stayed at 31-17, but that's kind of what it felt like as for a score of what that game should have been. And yeah, if we were not banged up, I think it would have been like a 35-33, whether it went our way or their way. I do want to see what both of these teams could do, like, healthy.
Absolutely.
Whether it was my co-host coming and joining Bucs Report, or even just all of us with our fascination of Matt Stafford, all of us want to see Matt Stafford do good. It just so happens that you're going for these Super Bowl wins in our time frame. So you're going to have to just F off for a bit, dude. And I'm sorry.
But he was a class guy. I'll give him this. I don't know if you know his post-game press conference, they asked him about playing better than Brady. And he said, no way. He said, no. He said, Brady's the GOAT, man. That's pretty class act.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I like Stafford for that. Ramona says, I love Tua, but I feel he won't make it as a Dolphins quarterback.
He will not.
I'm starting to get that kind of too. You said lots of really cool massage parlors in New York, New Jersey for Watson to make the trade. Oh, geez. And us Dolphins fans got to hear we should have took Herbert.
Yes. Man.
You should have. Trey Lance scored a rushing TD for the Niners tonight. Hasn't sucked so far. Yeah, they put him in for those weird utility plays. It's like, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo's not going to run for 7 yards for a touchdown, so let's bring in Trey Lance. Like, oh, it's almost as if you should just trade Jimmy Garoppolo and use Trey Lance. So,
imagine that.
Right? Now I wish we did, but I get the Oregon quarterback problem where they felt that taking Tua was safe. And listen, I also agree with that too. And I also have said before, because if we do the what ifs, I've considered this, and I know someone's going to take this now, but I know that the what if is getting popular on the Marvel, where they talk about the different things that could have happened in the universe. Me and my fiance watch it. I actually, Dave Damashek, I think.
Damashek. Yeah, he's cool.
He used to do like an animated video of like the what ifs essentially of the NFL. And I was like, listen, there's some new ones that have happened the last couple of years that I think need to be addressed again. And one of those, in my opinion, is what if the Buccaneers never traded with the Bills and we took Josh Allen?
Ooh.
Right? Or what would have happened if the Texans would have taken Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson went to Kansas City?
Oh.
Like, there's some really cool ones that I've been kind of putting on this list. And like, I got like, there's one that I'm like really, I'm not going to say it because that's my baby. Because that one, people are going to be like, I kind of wish, can it happen still? Can we trade for this? That'd be kind of cool, but no.
That'd be cool to see.
I want to do it without obviously like the trademark with him, but yeah, there is some really cool ones out there that I still to this day I'm even like, man.
I want to give Ramona though a shout out, man. She knows her football. That's pretty sweet.
She does. I mean, I know she's a Hurricanes fan, and I've always supported the Hurricanes. I don't mind them. I like all Florida college football teams except for FSU. So,
I hope Yahoo comes on. I
know, right? So Jacob, what's your predictions for the Jets? Now, I think he's probably thinking they might get 3 or 4 wins at this point, if that. So,
who are they going to beat?
They could. What did he say? It was they got the Falcons in London in 2 weeks. I'm like, you could probably win that one.
The
I know.
The Giants tonight.
I know. Yeah, but that's a weird one. Harry says running the ball hide mistakes. Listen, you're not wrong though. Like, could you imagine Brady only having to throw, say, 229 yards a game, 3 touchdowns, and we had like Javonte Flippin' Williams from Denver like to run in the backfield? Which shout out to Joshua Cole Allen. Joshua Cole Allen was preaching when he was at Bucs Report. He's like, imagine if Javonte Williams came here. And I was the one that was saying, imagine if we like Kenneth Gainwell fell to us in the 2nd or 3rd round and came here. And props to Joshua Cole Allen. Like his take on what that running back came is basically spot on. I'm looking pretty good on my Kenneth Gainwell one. So always a shout out to Joshua Cole Allen for his take on that. And and honestly though, like if there's a couple of these running backs, like again, these guys are coming up in this draft. I don't want to give Rojo a big contract. I'm not saying that like I hate him. I do love, and I always say this, I have loved every single player and personnel that have ever put on a Bucs logo or jersey, except for Jameis Winston. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't worry. I just wanted to. I wanted to watch my comments go and be like, hey. Ramon says Oregon is known for QB, but then again, neither is not known for QB, but neither is Bama.
And you have to give Ramon, you're right, because I remember even when I keep wanting to say San Diego, but even when the Chargers picked Justin Herbert, everybody thought, oh my gosh, they whipped on quarterback. You remember that? They were like, oh man, who is this kid? Blah, blah, blah. And he lit up the league. They didn't even, as a matter of fact, they had so little faith in him that he didn't even start.
Right.
They wouldn't even start him.
Tapassi also says, first time I agree with little Jacob as he pussed me off before. Coaches need to stop being lazy. Also agree with that.
Yes.
Can agree with that.
Yes.
Harry says, like I said before, run the ball more and most deficiencies disappear. I also agree. The way that our running backs are set up, they don't just burst off and start getting you 5 or 6 yards per carry. They're going to get you 2 to 3 at the beginning of the game. The more carries you give them, that's when they get to the 5 or 6 yards carry. That's just what we have. That's it. It's our problem to deal with, guys.
Yeah.
And listen, the one other thing I've heard too is apparently James Robinson from the Jaguars is on the trade wire. I got no flipping problem if you want to go send a second to the Jags to go grab him. That's the running back for a couple of years, and he was an undrafted flipping free agent, man. So I got no problem with that either. Did I mention run the ball? Harry's all about running the ball tonight. So
okay, Harry. Here's the problem. And I agree with you. This is why I will agree with Jacob when it comes to coaching. Arians doesn't like to run the ball. That's problem number one. Yep. Problem number two is, and this is where I agree with Jacob when it comes to Leftwich, it's because we have Rojo and because we have Fournette and because we have Gio, they don't know what to do with the run game. That's why you got to get rid of one of those guys. Yep. Get rid of one of them and make it much simpler. Just, hey, we're going to pound the ball, and then on third down, we'll use Gio for whatever gadget deal we want to use him for. But they can't figure out what to do with the run game because we have too many people.
Or even in like at the end of the year, if like say we win the Super Bowl and we actually say we're going to keep some, but we have to get rid of some at this point. Okay, do it.
Yeah.
And go ahead. But at that point, then go let the running backs go. Okay, let Rojo and let Fournette go. Go grab a running back in the draft. Keep Vaughn. Go grab one in free agency, and then go grab another vet, and then we're good again. Yeah. Running back by committee here. So. Cajun Buck says Fuller will get a solid 3 games for season. I agree. That was to the Miami one. Run. More running. Sebastian says, nope, Brady taught Leftwich how to coach and win. True as well. Yes, they did win the Super Bowl. They run the ball in the game. TB12 threw for under 200 in that game. Just saying, Steven.
A little over 200, Harry. It was like 201. So, but you were close.
Technicalities, but yeah. Who chose personnel coaches? Preparation is the coach's responsibility. That is also very true. That is very true.
Yeah.
The Rams showed up. Kyle, shut up. Falcon fan, get out of here. Steven contradicting himself. Hey, it's not contradicting yourself. If we are having a discussion and someone actually brings up good points, and it's like, well, okay, maybe we got to talk about it in a different light. So, Settling using Miller, Johnson, OJ, and at least Johnson didn't like it. I liked Johnson, like personally, because
Yes. Of the three, he was the best by far.
And I know I said this at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to state that this might be still too early to state this. But I think, just to me, he looks like a nice developing mix of Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown, but leaning more towards Antonio Brown. He's just a really good running receiver. Really good.
Great hands too.
Right? Like,
that one catch where he almost got the touchdown, that was not an easy catch because he had to turn his body around.
Yeah.
To get that ball at the last second. I mean, that was an easy catch. He's a man.
I love Fred's comment here. Can we get Alex on to talk about the Lions' loss on the longest field goal in NFL history?
Dude. Can you imagine being the Lions?
I let him be. I'm like, listen, I know that a bunch of guys at Bucs Report and a bunch of your fans have probably already messed. I was like, I'm just going to let him be and we'll talk about it tomorrow kind of thing.
Can you imagine that, though? Because you know the Lions fans are be thinking, we got this. There's no way he's going to make a 66-yarder.
Man, I'm not even going to lie. The very fact that, like, I'm going to start, and I know this might, like, be ruined for me eventually, but the Lions aren't giving up in games.
That's true. That's true.
Like they aren't. I'm just watching the end of this Green Bay game here. They're going to spike the ball. There's about 20 seconds left in the game. They're about to spike the ball down by a point, which is going to be insane. At least they would probably cover, like Green Bay would cover the spread. But Green Bay is, San Fran passed it to the fullback, and he got the touchdown with like 37 seconds left in the game. So
nice.
Yeah. Still not entirely sold on the Bucs defense. Listen, even as a diehard Bucs fan, I'm not even entirely sold on it right now, and it's only because they need. Last year, it took a little while to get to the elite status it is, and I think it's still going to take that.
Yeah.
I also think that the secondary getting banged up has exposed a lot of stuff that the Buccaneers didn't necessarily want exposed.
Yep.
And a lot of our depth is injured. That's the shitty part. A lot of the depth is being injured. So. I have a feeling.
Yep.
I have a feeling the Bucs defense will be the downfall, and I have a funny feeling that Matt Ryan can't keep up with your system. So shut up, Falcons fan.
Kyle, stop it, man. Come on.
I love you though, Kyle. You make good points though. Trade Rojo for a bag of Skittles and call it a day. At this point, I'm like, trade Rojo for freaking Marshawn Lynch's rights at this point, man. Get Skittles boy in here. Hell's yeah.
I wouldn't mind trading him for AP up straight up. I'm telling you, it's like ridiculous.
Jacob nailed that on the head with the AB comment. They're gonna spike it in field goal range with 3 seconds left now. Aaron Rodgers on 3 passes has put and only 37, not even, I think maybe 37 seconds, has put him in field goal range and Mason Crosby to come in for the win.
What yard line are they on?
32, so I'm thinking that would be a 45. Is it a 50-yarder?
It's going to be a 50-yarder. You got back up 8 yards, and then it's 10 yards back, so it's 50-yarder.
San Fran's going to call a timeout because they got 3. They're going to do the –
Please miss it. I picked San Fran to win this game.
I actually have money on Green Bay winning. I had just a suspicion, just for me, right? Wasn't anything I was going to tell anybody to do or anything like that. But I went and took $30 that I had won today randomly off of a couple of other games. And I just went and put it on Rodgers to have 4 touchdowns today. Because I was like, maybe he'll just say, screw you, San Francisco. And at first, the beginning of the game, I was like, oh, maybe this actually could go in this direction. And then San Fran picked it up. So I'll give him that.
Nice.
William Michael Freeman says, what do you guys think about AB? I got no problem with, we're talking about Antonio Brown here, right?
Yeah.
So I got no problem with Antonio Brown. I have stated that I was wrong on Antonio Brown before. We needed him. I think that Tyler Johnson is showing that we don't necessarily need him forever. Okay, here comes the attempt. Give me a second. The kick is up, and it is good. Aaron Rodgers has made the comeback.
They win.
Wow. This is the reason why Aaron Rodgers is one of the best guys. Remember that.
Yeah, you're not.
Damn.
When he's on, he's on.
Damn.
Let's see. As far as AB is concerned, I probably differ a little bit with you, Andrew. I think had we had AB in this game, I don't think we lose the game because AB can find openings in seams that the other players just can't. And we would have kept up. We would have held onto the ball longer. We would have gotten it down the field, and we would have scored. I just believe that. So, yeah, but at the very least, I think instead of us losing by 10, like you said, Andrew, maybe we lose by 3 or win by 3. It just depends on who has the ball last at that point. But oh well. But our secondary, you're right, is
we got to get some help now. And I said at the beginning of the season, I was like, I'd rather just our backups come in and try to take over for one guy going down. Now that we got 2 guys going down, inevitable happens. Let's go get somebody and bring them in here. So, Ramona K says Jets suck because they are the Jets. Wish the best for our future or for your future. That's so nice as a Dolphins fan. That's really nice. Although Miami is having problems now as well. She puts that in there too. That's cute. Who is really the GOAT? Tom Brady, Manning family, or Manning family?
Is this the Falcons fan asking that question?
It is. Yes, it is.
Stop it.
Who really is the GOAT is still technically Tom Brady because he's got more rings than the whole Manning family still too. But oh my God, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm calling my shot right now. Arch Manning is gonna be the greatest quarterback of all time when he's done.
Yeah.
If he goes to the right damn team and if Peyton comes and steps in and be like, Arch is not going to get drafted to the Jets or to
they'll definitely do that.
Cincinnati.
They're going to pull on Eli. They'll make sure he doesn't go to like that. That's for sure.
I agree. Remember that Dolphins chose Culpepper over Breeze. Ouch.
That's true.
It's very true. Harry needs to go to a Bear show and talk about running more. They also only had 13 rushes. Listen. I still love Harry, and I've been the one that stated that I do think his Bears are going to do better than they kind of have been showing right now. And I to be honest with you, what I saw from highlights, I don't think it's necessarily all Justin Fields' fault. And I'm not saying Matt Nagy is obviously throwing plays in there to have him fail or anything like that. I don't think Matt Nagy is ready to coach a good quarterback. That's just me. If Matt Nagy, and I'm only saying this because you're here, if Matt Nagy had Ryan Fitzpatrick, he'd be the best 8-9 team that the league would have for 12 years. 8-9. And he'd only be relevant because Fitzpatrick would be throwing for 5,000 yards, but he'd have 45 picks every single damn year, too.
That is true. That is true.
Matt Nagy would only stay relevant. I have 8 wins every single year. Okay, but you have 9 losses every year, you dumbass. And it's weird talking about a Bucs loss. Can't remember the last one, right? Fred, isn't it good?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, though, is that at least in this loss, we can talk about it and be like, this isn't something to worry about, though. When there is a loss, and if there is something to worry about, believe me, I would probably be the first show at Bucs Report to talk about it because I'm the one that can afford to get shit on this show, which is true. But I'm also the one, I have no problems having a more outside perspective of the whole NFL, right? Nothing, of course, to anybody at Bucs Report. A lot of guys are of homers, right? But for a good example, Rick Hughes a couple of times last year went against the grain. He wasn't actually one of the people, not saying at Bucs Report, but I had a bunch of people at the beginning when I said, Bucs might lose week 1 to the Saints here, guys. It's just Brady's coming in here. It's his first game. The Saints are still a championship caliber team with Drew Brees, even though he's noodle arm. And I got people be like, nah, man, this is going to be his coming out game. And I'm like, it's going to take a couple of weeks. Even when Joe Montana went to the Chiefs, that whole system was built for him to succeed. And it took him until week 7 or 8, I think, to really start popping off. Right. And that's what happened with Tom Brady. So same thing here, guys. We lost one game. We lost by 10 points and we lost to the guy who may actually this year win MVP. That's really nothing to be ashamed of here.
Not at all.
So
absolutely true.
And then Arch to the Falcons, calling it now. Oh, God.
Let me tell you something, Kyle, right now. I guarantee you, I'm not a betting man. My buddy Andrew, who's really good at it, and Harry, who's really good at it. I will bet you name the amount. He is not going to the Falcons. I will put money on that now.
I used to make those bets. I used to. And then Peyton Manning went to the Broncos, and I was like, okay, that's okay. And then Tom Brady came to the Bucs. And now I'm like, listen.
That's different. They chose that. He's talking about Arch Manning getting
well, yeah, drafted. I guess drafted there. Yeah, true.
I'll put money on
it. yeah. I guess at that point, yeah, because I was gonna say I think you'd probably see Ben Roethlisberger in a Browns jersey before you'd see Arch Manning in a Falcons jersey. You'd see Aaron Rodgers literally traded for like a 6th round pick to the freaking Vikings before that would ever happen.
And a pack of cigarettes, exactly.
And a pack of cigarettes, like a heating pad for a fan up in the colder part of the stadium. Like,
exactly.
No, I agree with that. I got a couple of funny memes here tonight. Cool. I was hoping Matt Coulson was on for one of these. I'm gonna show you this one. It's like an inside joke. I wanted to trigger him. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Bob Dylan said that. He's the drummer of Metallica. That's him right there.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Matt Coulson, buddy, if you get to watch this later, I know you got things going on tonight, and I hope all is well. But if you get to watch this, just know that when I found this, I had only you in mind, buddy. I wanted to hear you be like, "Oh, good Lord."
That's fantastic.
Speaking of "Oh, good Lord," Tucker was caught saying, "Love Detroit, thinking about getting a place here." Right after he set the record for the 66-yard field goal. Justin Tucker's field goal, by the way, was 19 yards longer than the Bears' offense gained today.
Wow! Wow! That is so sad.
I know. Yeah. Speaking of sad, point to the worst quarterback in the AFC North. Ben.
You know what? They're not wrong.
They're not. He's an old washed up. Yeah. My friend got caught cheating, and his girl responded by logging into his fantasy and just dropping Kyler Murray.
Oh.
I've listen to everybody out there, because I got people being like, listen, Andrew, you got a really attractive wife. She's really nice to the kids, blah, 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 blah. You would never leave her. I would leave her in a heartbeat if we ever had a fight and she just decided to start dropping people out of my fantasy football like dynasty league. Gone. Get out. Because if you think like I'm even the commish, and if you think like I would be able to go get my players back, Alex would put his hand on it and be like, no.
Yeah.
You know the rules. And I'd be like, all of you can fuck off. She'd be gone. Speaking of gone, I am once asking for this to be the default camera angle for the football games. I like it a couple of times, but not for the full game, please.
Yeah, I agree.
Just give me like the 3 cool angle. Like give me this for a couple of offensive drives. Give me the sideline ones. And then there's the other really cool angle one too, where it's kind of down to the turf. I don't mind that one either.
Yeah.
The future of the NFL for the next 20 years is in good hands with these quarterbacks.
Nice. Nice.
I saw that one today, and I was just like, oh, the son of a guns. Like, am I really going to have them for that long? Like, holy cow.
Speaking of which, have you seen that new commercial that he and Giselle did about not Bitcoin, but crypto?
No, and I saw a highlight of it, but I gotta check it out still.
It is phenomenal. Giselle sitting on the couch, and she says, honey, we need to talk about something. He said, we already did. I got 10 more years.
Oh, Jesus. Everyone reading this has more career receiving yards than Giants' first-round pick, Kadarius Toney. Me and you have more receiving yards technically than him. Do you believe that?
Wow, that's true.
By the way, when you're having one of the worst starts into a career by a number 1 pick in the NFL history, but nobody cares because you play for the Jags.
That's true, too.
Tony Khan, that sucks. What else also sucks is anything that might even slightly disrespect your opponent, like, I don't know, backing up and walking into the end zone, will be 15 yards this year, Buster, but Lamar Jackson can just do a front curl into it.
Yeah, that Tawny rule, man. I'm so sick of Roger Goodell.
I agree. I definitely agree. Penei Sewell hasn't allowed a sack, by the way, since playing left tackle week 4 of 2018 at Oregon.
Is that real?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
This is the reason why, like, the day when we were doing the draft special, and I was getting Alex. I'm like, "Are you ready for Penny?" He's like, "Oh yeah!"
I remember that.
He was getting right excited, and then that name came in, and he was like, "Here we go!"
Dude, that is crazy. He hasn't allowed a sack in 3 years.
Right?
Trust. I hope Harry's. He's this. I hope Harry's still on.
Just note, like, guys, like, I only take shots at certain teams when I do this. This was all made like a little bit quicker tonight. There's no real order in it, but there's a lot more Bear ones in here, and I'm really sorry, Harry. Know that it's nothing personal. It's just the ones I found. So, the Vikings do field goal post, and we got you. Don't worry. Over the summer, someone said, "Watch out for Justin Herbert." Patrick Mahomes says, "I'll see it when I believe it." Well.
They're
buddy.
1-2. They're 1-2.
Yep.
The vaunted KC Chiefs are 1-2.
Listen, I'm actually quite happy that the Chargers won it, because I do have a side bet with somebody that I said that the Chargers were going to beat the Chiefs both games this season, and he messaged me right after this one, and he's like, "1 down, eh?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, buddy." He's definitely not looking forward to that last game towards the end of the season. I'm like, "Oh, buddy, it's going to be a good one, because that'll basically be for first place." So
I think they definitely can beat the Chiefs both games. I mean, they beat them in KC. That's not Justin Herbert is the truth. All these people talking about baby goat this and all that other. You don't hear that crap no more. But all these people are talking about the baby goat. Justin Herbert is building a nice case for himself down in LA.
I like guys who cut their hair and literally look like they were just signed off of the Family Channel, okay? Those are the type of dudes I want running my team, because he's quiet as hell too. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know I get the job flipping done." By the way, there's this one. Saints and Patriots.
That is fantastic. And they're going to be 1-3 next week. They're going to be 1-3.
Yep. Here's another good one.
Kermit the Frog. See what Tyreek started? Tyreek started that whole Kermit the Frog.
Yep, he did. By the way, just because Steeler fans, screw you.
That is so true. It's sad.
Your ass. Oh, wait, no, that was supposed to be, that's the end one. My apologies. Okay. Don't look at that one yet. Bronco fans be like, "I'm a horse." They're undefeated. Believe it or not, they're undefeated. Yeah, but they're still fuzzy little horses, okay? Is it okay that I feel like I don't want to live anymore? Yes, Bobby. That's normal. We are Lion fans. Imagine how good the Lions would be if they were able to trade for this guy.
Yeah.
I said it earlier, and I love it. So savage. I'm sorry. Raider fans logging on to Facebook to brag about them being first place for the first time in nearly 2 decades. You could use that time to talk about baby mamas. No, I'm just kidding. Justin Fields completed 6 passes for 68 yards versus the Browns, and then also lost a total of 67 yards after being sacked 9 times, meaning that the Bears only had 1 yard passing in Fields' first start.
Wow.
I know the stats for that game are just really, really bad, man.
Wow.
And I saw someone on Twitter go hard to be like, "You start Justin Fields at your quarterback spot this week, or you're going to be sorry. He's going to be top 3 quarterback." I'm like, dude, right now he's bottom 3 quarterback. Like, it's that bad.
He's
that bad. I was today the years old when I found out this was a hooker.
What's funny? That is true.
Right?
I'm today years old.
When your dad drags you away from Fortnite to watch his ass whooping. Hashtag Hooday. And now my favorite ones to end the show. This one was sent in from a fan. Rick after Winston threw his first interception. I wanted to put that one in last week, but there was we had a guest on, and I was like, I don't want to go down there.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
I wanted to end with that one, but I found this one today. And this is how we end the goulash. This is so bad. Texans Deshaun Watson, horny, ruled out for tonight's matchup versus Carolina.
I can't believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been the goulash.
Stupid Bucs fans say.
That was great. That was great.
That's my favorite one out of this so far, man. There's been a couple. Maybe the Hulk one too. That was another good one. What the hell, Bruce?
That was good.
I just got back from a wedding like a couple of hours ago too, and I am still just in like wow mode because I literally, buddy. So apparently my phone has been just going off. Apparently my flower girl video has officially been posted. So if anybody would like to see me how I was the flower man yesterday, you can go on my Facebook and see it. And if you can't get on my Facebook, I will have it next week available on here. Couple comments here before we get going here. We Bucs fans got to wait until the bye week to see where this team is at. Hey, that's a good point too, Christopher Cole. You on point tonight, buddy.
Agreed.
Matt is passed out drunk from celebrating the Bucs loss. Hater 19-1.
That might be true. That might be true.
I mean, it might be the furthest opposite from the truth. It's like,
no, Matt has been saying, and he's been getting on Fred the whole time. He has been saying, we've got to lose a game. We've got to lose. And that's what Fred's doing.
Man. That's good. Fred, you killing me tonight, man. You killing me.
That was great, Fred.
Kyle Yates says, never say never. No one thought the Browns would be contenders. I bet no one saw Brady go to the Bucs. Matt Stafford to the Rams, too. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. Do not test the NFL God. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, please don't do that anymore. I agree with him. Hey, man, if Arch Manning wants to come to the Atlanta Falcons, just sure, cool. They're like, I ain't pissing off. No, I'm not. Nope. I ain't dealing with 20 years of that, dude. No.
I agree with you.
Or him on the Saints?
I don't even want to know about it.
I was going to make a bad comment about their stadium. I will leave them out of that. William Michael Freeman says, do you think Tampa Bay Buccaneers will have Tom Brady and his best tight end for 2 more years? I've been on record stating that I think that Brady would stay here at like this year. And he's got 1 more year left with us, and then he might try to get into the either ownership or personnel type with the Buccaneers. And I still hold true to that. So I guess that would go into the 2 years there. Yeah. With Gronk, Gronk has got another, I would say personally, this is just me. I think he would have another 2 years left in him where he could still do some damage.
Right.
But maybe next year he starts falling off and you don't necessarily see as much of him, and maybe a little bit more O.J. Howard if we keep him. What do you think there, Stephen?
Well, I agree with everything you said. I think the main reason why it's 2 years, exactly what you said, Brady's going to do it this year, and he's going to complete his commitment because that's what he said he would do. And I think he wants to do something else afterwards, mainly because I think his wife wants him to do something else afterwards because he's saying he's going to leave when he's 45. Yeah. And I know the moment he leaves, Gronk is gone.
Oh,
Gronk has already been on record saying he won't play for any other quarterback but Tom Brady. Yep. So the moment Brady leaves, Gronk is leaving too. They're just a package deal.
Well, sorry about that, guys. I just had a very bad in my throat. Like I said, I'm still recovering from this party here. My God. I basically agree with him there too. First time tuning in, guys. Great show. Cajun Buck. Yeah, I was going to say you're a new face here tonight too, buddy. I appreciate you tuning in. Listen, I keep this energy up whether we win or lose or tie, man. But understand that I get a little bit more heated when we play the Saints. Like when it comes to week 8, I'm going to have like F the Saints like all week. Like I'm going to wake up at a specific time, like whatever their time is in New Orleans that they like pray to or whatever. I'm going to go #fuck the Saints at that specific time. You have to understand, this is very recent for me. And I've even stated in my life, because I cheer for the Big Four, I cheer for football, I cheer for hockey, I cheer for baseball, and I cheer for basketball. I got my teams in all of them, and it's not Tampa Bay for every single sport. I actually don't really care for the Lightning. That's a different story. But that being said, I don't necessarily hate that many teams. If you're a Boston Bruin fan and you can actually, like, we hold like a good conversation, sure. But if you're the typical Boston Bruin fan, I don't like you. Right. That's why I actually respect Joshua Cole-Allen. He is a good Boston Bruin fan. And he only starts talking, like, say, crap or whatever when he needs to, right? When someone goes after him. But when me and him have talked, he's been like, you're a Red Wing fan. We've had a great rivalry. This has been fun. I'm like, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, I applied for a job not that long ago. And I had to get some little picture taken or whatever after the whole thing was done. And this girl was there, and I had to do like a little, not 5-minute interview, but she sits there and you got to talk to her while she's printing it all out kind of thing. She saw that I was wearing my Bucs jersey, and she's like, hey, a big Bucs fan, right? And I go, hell yeah, we just won the Super Bowl. She's like, I'm a Saints fan. And I'm like, cool. Can I possibly go over there to the next person to get help? And she laughed, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm kind of serious, man. Like, I hate your fan base. You know what I mean? And I was trying to make it a joke, like, respectively. And she goes, yeah, you Buccaneers would always cling on to the very little that you have. And I'm like, oh, like our 2 Super Bowls compared to your 1? Like, that 5 minutes, she wishes she could get back because she didn't want to start that beef with me. And it was great. I said, you're like, Drew Brees has got more records than your damn 02 Hall of Fame class. And I'm like, yeah, congratulations. I also got to watch him at the end of his year noodle arm himself back to the freaking, like, it was great, man. I hated her, and I still hate her to this day. But I'll remember her because of the conversation we had. And she's probably, actually, she's from Austin or something like that. So, like, if you ever see this chick down there that's just really pissed off at some Canadian in Edmonton because I talked crap about her Saints, you can be like, I know that guy. And screw you, too. Steven just told you Brady is playing 10 more years. I mean, hey.
That's what Brady said. I didn't say it. He said it.
I mean, true. But also at the same time, if Brady's going to throw 432 yards at the age of 54, I'll fucking take it. I don't care. I'm at this point where I'm all for it. So,
absolutely.
Fuck the Saints all day. Thank you. Cajun Bucs.
Nice.
You are allowed on this show anytime. I will have, yeah. You're my favorite. You're my favorite. You're one of the 3 favorites for tonight. This is one of the other top comments of the day.
Nice.
What do you think about Steven Stamkos for the Tampa Bay Lightning? Now, okay, to end the show, I'll just say this. As a hockey fan, what I thought the Lightning should do this offseason, respectively, is 1 of 2 things. Keep the main core that you possibly can and just try to go for as many cups as you can because you're still a good team. Fuck what anybody else really says on that because I may not like the Lightning personally, but that's still a Stanley Cup championship team, even if you lost 10 fucking players. Doesn't matter.
Right.
I think what they should have done is they should have traded Stamkos somewhere and got a package deal with a couple of draft picks, maybe a couple of prospects, just to put into the system to allow them to be a little bit more competitive because they are thin. And if they get a couple of bad injuries, like you're not going to be able to do the Kucherov thing of last year, but still a good team. And I have no problems with Stamkos. I have my rivalry with the Lightning or whatever stems from Cronwell Game 6 and the suspension. And to any diehard hockey fan, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And you'll come in here and be like, he deserved it. And we can talk about that on North Sports because I have hockey talk starting to come into North Sports Dynasty on the second half of shows with me and Alex here in the next upcoming week. So go tune into that. Go Bucs from Fred Moore and Oilers 2022. Now everybody's talking crazy. Let's get the hell out of here. Steven Glasker, tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, first of all, Andrew, thank you for having me on the show. Great show tonight, man. That was awesome. I love some of the comments. I love the memes. They were hilarious.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. You guys can find me as well as Matt Colson and Teresa Baxter, Miscreant, on Saturdays at 9 Eastern. The Miscreant Mayhem Show. So we'll look forward to seeing you there. And we'll look forward to seeing you again, Andrew, next week after the games. Thanks, brother.
Hells yeah. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be on as many times as I can. I'm usually, when I'm home and I'm working on stuff, if there's a show on, I'll pop it on if I usually can. So
appreciate you.
Appreciate you too, buddy. Have yourself a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
All right. To the rest of you guys, Kyle, fuck Ken Holland. Damn rights. To the rest of you guys and gals, thank you for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate all the new fans we got in here tonight. And to, I think it was William Preeman. If you want to ever talk hockey, buddy, follow me at North Sports Dynasty. Our show is strictly basically dedicated to fantasy football, obviously, throughout the football season. But we are dedicating to the second half of the show, basically towards like the hockey talk and the basketball and the baseball, giving everybody the updates on that. We're not doing fantasy hockey because we don't have that big of a fan base yet. But obviously, when the fan base starts kicking in and people start asking me for fantasy hockey advice, I'm going to pick it up and become a god within like a month. So that's just what I do. Give me the analytics, give me the math, give me the money, and I will win it. Speaking of money, you want to win some money? I'm going to give you guys some numbers here in this next coming week. Me and Rick will have you guys covered and a few other people here at Bucs Report. So stay tuned in for that. Also stay tuned for all the Buccaneer content going on throughout the weeks. You can find everybody doing something at different points of the day. We try to obviously keep it nice and consistent one after another, but we all got lives too. The boss man can't pay all of us. It's just the way it is. He's giving it all to me. No, I'm just kidding. But no, we got great shows coming up here. Jacob's been on. The Miscreants have been on. Rick Hughes has been on. The NFL edition. My co-host taking it over on Saturday because I was just way too drunk. I couldn't do it. And I was driving. And I left a little bit late. So I'm really sorry. But next week, we got New England. Bill Belichick, your check is getting ready to be written and signed. A little bonus check that Mr. Kraft has got already here for you. Write it down. It's called Beat Brady. You want to earn your money, buddy? There's certain situations that happen in sports that whether you're a head coach or the player, you cannot let them win. And I'm going to tell you right now that the Patriots will do everything in their power to make sure the Buccaneers lose at Gillette Stadium. And I'm here to tell you that I may have called the Week 4 loss at the beginning of the season. I do not think I am calling a Week 4 loss here for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We will get into that next weekend. We'll talk about some of the things that are going to happen. I'll pop up on some of these post and pregame shows to talk a little bit more with you guys and gals. But until next weekend, I'm your host, Andrew Faubert, live from the cheap seats, here to give you guys all your Buccaneers content every Sunday, usually around 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 p.m. your time. But we let the post-game show go on with Mr. Rick Hughes, and we come in afterwards to give you guys a nice late edition and a late talk when we have these late games. Isn't it nice? We get to have some fun here. And the only reason we get to do that is because you, the fans, make it happen. So like, share, follow North Sports Dynasty, Bucs Report, and all the content creators and writers we got here on Bucs Report. And I will see you guys next Sunday for talking about our Patriots. So you know what I like to say. Take care now. And bye-bye then.
T-minus 20 seconds.